average citizen and business owners. The latest data from the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) shows that Nigeria's inflation rate eased to 23.18% in February 2025, down from 24.48% in January. Food prices, which remain a major driver of inflation, recorded a 23.51% increase in February, a sharp decline from the 37.92% reported in the same month the previous year. According to the NBS, this decline is partly due to a change in the base year used for inflation measurement. While this development offers some relief, economic analysts caution that sustained progress will depend on government policies and stability in key sectors. All right, Majid, I'll start with you. Again, inflation drops in Nigeria as food prices ease. But this is a welcome relief for Nigerians after 2 years of sky-high price pressure, isn't it?
In fact, when President Tinubu hosted some Nigerians to iftar, which we normally call break of fast, on Wednesday in Abuja, he said this is the first Ramadan that was shocked with the reports he's getting from the National Bureau of Statistics that prices are actually coming down, food prices. And I think I can also attest to that because most weekends I take my wife to the market, to see what happened. We go to K2 market, we go to Sunday market in Ogba. And not to monitor, but then, I just feel like going there. But the journalist in me saw that those prices are actually coming down, and that's reflective because the consumer price index is a measure of the headline inflation. That basically it is the food prices that is key in the inflation index that the NBS uses. It's critical, and you can see that month on month between January and February, we've had a decline of about from 24% to about 23.18%, which is quite significant. And if you not, that is month on month, but if you compare the year on year, it's much significant from 31.7% at this time last year to just 23.18% now, almost 11%.
11% difference.
Difference. It is a measure of look at the report BKO did in Kaduna.
Yes,
the huge harvests from those farmers, some earning as much as 800 million from just one crop. So the improved level of security in the northern part of the country, where this food come, is reflecting positively, and is kudos to the National Security Advisor and other security agencies. Although we still have some pockets of these attacks, but more farmers are going back to the farms. And I also recall that BKO mentioned that from just one village, about 400 Muslims will be going on Hajj this year. Do you know how much it costs for one person to go on Hajj?
The millions.
It's 8.5 million naira.
Now 400.
400.
One local.
Just one local government. So about 400 people will be paying 8.5 million. They are not being sponsored by government. They are being sponsored by these farmers, and some of these farmers themselves are the ones paying for this. So it's a reflection of. So it's when some people say or rise and start saying, they are lazy. They should go back to the farms. There is much to harvest in the farms. Even now, in front of my house, I have a small garden there where I harvest yam, cassava.
So system farming going on. But BK, he has mentioned, some of the things responsible for the drop in inflation. You want to tell us more? Yes, some of the things responsible for the drop in inflation.
Well, they are saying that improved supply, when there is enough supply, it will moderate prices. Okay. Improved supply, then reduce pressure from exchange rate fluctuations.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that. Okay, let's talk about fuel prices, for example.
Okay.
The landing cost has gone down.
Yes.
A lot of it down to not just the fact that global oil prices are going down, but the exchange rate, the volatility that we experienced in the past is moderating. For most of last month, for example, the naira was doing very well against the dollar, and it will affect prices, especially of imported items. So, what they are saying generally is that yam tubers, potatoes, soybeans, maize, flour, cassava, and beans, they are recording lower prices. And I've seen newspapers that went to town after their first story about food prices going down. Okay. They went back again to see whether there's consistency.
Exactly.
So they went back and discovered that it continues to go down. In the Ramadan season, that's usually when prices go up, because people want to exploit innocent Muslims who want to honor the obligation to fast. But for the first time, we are seeing a situation in which, despite us being in the Ramadan season and the Christian Lent coming the same time, prices of food items continue to go down. There's no way, given that the inflationary pressure is driven largely by rising food prices. Yes. There's no way that it will not affect the consumer price index positively, as we have seen, because what we've seen is a real significant improvement in terms of the rate of inflation from 37.92% to 23.51%. And it goes on. It's only in year-on-year assessment that you can say, oh, well, it's still rising. But when they do the month-on-month, there's significant improvement there, and things will continue.
Okay.
I just came back from Anambra State this afternoon. Even Governor Soludo is doing a lot in the area of agriculture because of his farm to food program, and the wife too is giving out improved seedlings to women. There was a particular woman that, based on these improved seedlings, she is a retiree. Based on the improved seedlings, she's a cleaner, actually, which means she's on maybe minimum wage level, 30 or so 70,000. From the yield from her farm, she saw the governor at a public event and presented gifts.
Oh, from the yield?
Yes. So instead of agonizing and blaming everything on the president, this person took to farming, and she is happier for it. There are also young people that they have made millionaires by giving them a plot of land to farm and giving them improved seedlings and all that. We are saying that this is one way to empower people. You don't empower people by simply giving them cash handouts. That, in my view, is not empowerment. Teach them how to farm. Yeah, let them realize that there's a lot of money. If I had the opportunity, for example, I would go into cocoa farming. If I had the opportunity, I would go into cocoa farming. There's a lot of money in it. We are seeing cocoa farmers now riding some of the most expensive cars.
Yeah.
Jeeps. Go to Ondo and see cocoa farm. Even some of them in Ogun State here, they are making good money. So the era of just dismissively talking down on farmers is gone. I stood before two farmers, each of them making on the average about 1.4 billion from just 3 crops. What are we talking about? And that man kept saying, we are many. Even in his passable English, he spoke English, he said, we are many. You go to Soba, you go to Giwa, those local governments in Kaduna State, the quantum of maize that they grow in Saminaka and all of those places, you won't believe. That's why the people going to Mecca in Kaduna, they are higher than any state in Nigeria.
Now, what are the other governments?
And they don't. It's not subsidized. A state government that is subsidizing Hajj. Kaduna had more pilgrims than them, and Kaduna is not subsidized. So one local government is only in the urban centers like Kaduna North, for example. That's the heart of the state capital. That the figures are very low, and I hear that even those farmers are coming into the metropolis now to buy houses.
Really?
Yes, they are not fools now. Even women. If you see women now going into tomato farming in Kaduna, and they are millionaires. I have them on tape. I will run the story. Millionaires. Women in the north. It's quite unusual because women usually don't have access to land. But things are changing. Exactly. This is what we should be doing. If we produce more, prices will moderate. You know? And you'll be able to take people out of poverty. You don't take people out of poverty by giving them money. Exactly. And it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. It's not. You know, once that money runs out.
How much do you want to give?
Once that money runs out, that person becomes even worse than you met him. So what are we talking about?
All right, gentlemen, we need to go on this quick break. And when we return, the conversation continues. Don't go anywhere. Still Journalist Hangout.